There's a quote from Iacocca, who was the CEO of Chrysler, which I heard and I rather like. He said that if you and I both agree, then one of us is redundant. And I thought about that, and I thought this is one of the things that most leadership teams need to get straight in their minds. Because if you think about that, if you and I both agree, then we don't need to both be there. Then most teams of 7 or 8 or 9 people, if they're all agreeing with each other, that means that most of them are actually redundant. So it seems to me that the whole point of a team, especially a leadership team, is that you have different points of view, that you don't always necessarily agree with each other. But of course, the difficulty with that, then, is that people think if they don't agree, then it's a problem. And people will often go to huge lengths to avoid having a disagreement with a colleague, and they spend a lot of time making sure that they don't get into heated arguments or debates and so on. But then I started to think, well, if that's the case, then people are perhaps not getting the best out of being part of a team if all they're doing is agreeing with each other all the time. So let's really think about that. If the whole point of having a team is that you have different points of view and that you don't agree, then it seems to me that there's some different skills needed in order to really get the benefit of having a team to make decisions. So why do you think people don't like to disagree? I think it's because they tend to take it personally. So if I say to you, no, I don't agree with you, I think a lot of people will hear that as I'm saying, you're wrong, or you're stupid, or you're bad, or in some way there's something wrong with you, not just you've got a different opinion from me. So maybe the skill that's missing is how you disagree with someone without arguing with them, without falling out with them, without causing or giving offence. How do you actually maintain a different point of view without it being a difficulty for either side? I think it was Scott Fitzgerald who said that the test of true intelligence is being able to retain 2 opposing ideas in your mind at once and still retain the ability to function. So, here's my thought for the day. What if you actually could retain 2 completely opposing points of view in your mind at once? What if you could do that for any sustained period and still function? And by function, I mean do your job, which might be to make a decision. So next time you find yourself in a situation where you're not fully in agreement with a colleague, or maybe you're completely in opposition to them, just stop for a moment, think, okay, so this doesn't have to be a problem. Actually, this is a good thing because we don't agree and therefore neither of us is redundant. How do we go forward with this? Usually all that's needed is to take a little bit of time to fully understand somebody else's point of view. If you do that, then perhaps they'll reciprocate and give you a little bit of time to fully understand your point of view, and then you can go forward together. And by doing that, I think you truly get the benefit of collaborating with colleagues. And the old saying that 2 heads are better than 1 can be proven to be true.